I've done about 80 kilometres using TPU tubes. I've switched from rubber to TPU. I've done 80 kilometres and so far everything's been fantastic. This is the cheapest ones you can get on eBay, I think, and I've used an 85 milliliter valve here, which I wouldn't use now. I'd probably use 45. The tube was around 28 grams when I measured it, maybe 29 grams. I've got one in the back that's got a 65 valve, and that was about 25 grams, maybe 26. So it's like 80 to 90 grams less weight than rubber, the butyl ones. So that's a big saving on weight. And also because where it is, the weight, it's going round the tyre, I think it means you can accelerate quicker, which I've found anyway. Even just moving along, it feels faster to me, with all that weight going in that special area, right round your diameter, your circumference of what's touching the ground. I think the guy in Cycling Weekly on a YouTube thing said it takes away that momentum, the mass, which is dragging the momentum. Also, I've not had a puncture, so it's early days, but yeah, I'm confident. Also, it feels more comfier because it feels like you bounce, I've heard that the rolling resistance is almost the same as tubeless tyres and better than rubber butyl tyres in a tubes. But to me, I don't know, I just like the bounce. So, this is an old Michelin tyre I bought in Decathlon. I usually always end up buying this one from Decathlon. It's 25mm wide. This is my front wheel, 622 times 25. I refuse to say 700C. This is the back, it's a 65mm valve. If you're buying cheap from eBay, generic ones, I'm guessing this is the brand you're going to get, because I bought these from two separate suppliers. I bought the tyre at the same time, so my judgment is maybe not that good, because I can't tell if it's the tyre that's giving the comfort or the inner tube, or both probably, it's probably both, because I think I had a 28 wheel before that, now went to 32. This is a 622 times 32mm wide tyre. I refuse to say 700C or 28-inch. And the wheel is 622 times 17C. I'll take that as 17mm wide, which I understand can take the width of a tyre up to 55mm. So that's alright, isn't it? And it's tubeless ready, which in my opinion means it's quite hard to put any sort of tyre on, because they make them tighter, I think, the tubeless wheels. That said, it was pretty easy to get this tyre on compared to the tyre that came with it, the Decathlon tyre, which was a puncture protect one, which get punctures. This is 65mm. You don't get anything other than that sort of thing to put the valve close to the thing, So about 70 kilometres, 80 kilometres I've done. A lot of it in gravel, because I was round about Loch Lomond, or I went on one of the trails there and that. So yeah, because this is me just switched to TPU, so I was worried, because I've read comments where people say they just can't go on with them. But I probably won't go tubeless in the foreseeable future, because I just don't want all that sealant stuff and all that. I just want TPU, which is almost the same benefits as tubeless from what I've read, I've read on Road CC and on the YouTube with the Cycling Weekly, I think it was, when they've checked rolling resistance, which is the thing that they go on about now. Yeah, it's almost the same as tubeless. I'm talking from the viewpoint of people that just want to wander, or, you're not doing it for road racing. I'm not doing it for road racing. So, I mean, this is a flat bar bike and I go on gravel a lot, so I prefer gravel even. I'm so confident I'm going to change this. I'm going to show you the inner tube. Okay, sometimes changing a tyre's taking 5 days, but I'm confident I'll get this quick. I've got my new Pedros, which some guy said were the best. Squeeze it into the middle first. Oh, that's what I do. To get it off the bead. What do they call it? Pedros, they were like £5 or something. But yeah, they look good. I just tried them a minute ago. I think it's because I've got that groove there at the top. Of course, the worst bit is catching your inner tube. You know, and then you give yourself a puncture that way. But it's looking good here. I'll maybe do this off camera more, I don't know. This tyre's old as well, so it's well sort of done. And TPUs are a lot thinner than rubber, or butyl as they call it. So it means it takes up less space, it's easier to put in and out. It's not that elastic really. But it feels pretty tough anyway. This one says tyres from 18 wide to 32 wide, which, you know, is pretty a wide thing. So I don't know if it can realistically do that, I don't know. But so far I've been okay. It's for a 622mm tyre. I refuse to say 700C or 28 inch. This is a lever I was using from Decathlon, but I think it's too thin there and it's just a bit too bendy as well. The Pedro one seems to work better for me so far. I might just be imagining it. Plus these TPU, they fold up same way you got them. I mean, I can get this back in the box if I do it right. Alright, I'm not doing it right, you know. You get the idea. Look at that, I mean, you can fit that in your bag or whatever. Compare that to the old rubber, you know. Say 27, 28 grams, something like that. 114 grams. And that's the 85mm valve, the 65 obviously smaller. I don't know if the valve's a weak point at all. Don't know. The top bit doesn't feel so good in this to me, but quite often I can accidentally let it down when I'm pumping it up. But overall, I'm happy with the price on that. This is the only bit that looks like a weak point to me. I don't know. Maybe they join the whole thing up there rather than round the side. I can't see any lines here. And with it being, I don't know, I'm really happy. This is me, I'll be TPU. I don't think I'll switch to tubeless for the foreseeable future. Not until tubeless don't need sealant. Because that sealant can be around about 40 grams you're putting in. So that would make it heavier than this. Because they talk about tubeless being the best for puncture resistance or whatever, and the easiest to fix, but I don't know, not from what I've seen on YouTube, you know. I've seen race enthusiasts switch back to TPU from tubeless. I mean, with this you've got like 3 or 4 chances. You can put sealant in it if you want to prevent puncture stuff. Then when you get a puncture you can put sealant in it, the repair stuff. And if that doesn't work you can put in another tube because they're so easy to carry a bit. You know, with tubeless they've got either they've got the plug things that they try first, I think, then they try sealant and that. But if those two things don't work, I don't know what they'd do. To put it back in, people in the know say you should blow it up a bit to give it a shape, some shape. This is taking longer than I thought. Yeah, something like that, you know. Alright, here goes guys, we're live. See, it's got the thing there, tells me. I think I've too much air in it at the moment. But I'll just see how I go on. I've been watching people on YouTube and that, you know. Is that impossible to do that? Yeah, probably. It's going down. Cut. Yeah, I got it now, but I need to take it off this spindle. So then we're ready to roll with Michelin lithion 2, I think. This has been a great wheel for puncture proofness. Although I did get a few at the end, but I've started going in gravel more than I used to. I just remembered I've got a special tool I may use for this. I bought this glider thing, but I've not had much use for it, but I've not really tried. I sort of gave up early on. And then I'll just go back. Yeah, again, unlike rubber, it's really not in the way, you know. It is a bit, you just saw there. You've always got to watch you don't pinch flat it while you're actually putting it in. I think I'll deflate that more. Right down there. See like that. Oh. Cut! Yeah, this tyre used to be really tough to get on, but I think it's a lot easier now. But I need to watch I don't pinch flat. That would be a disaster. Especially in a video. You're seeing how great they are. I'll just make sure this is in the middle, because that's the deepest bit. You need as much space as you can when you've got tubeless tyres, tubeless ready tyres, wheels. Yeah, Pedro's not doing so good putting it back on. Maybe it's better taking stuff off. Yeah, maybe this is where the Decathlon ones are better because of their angle. Maybe you need different levers, ones to get ones off and others to get them on. Alright, I'm making a mess of this. I accept that. Cut. I mean, you could use other stuff like fairy liquid to soften the run, you know, a lubricant. But I'm going to get this on. Oh yes. 15 minutes later. Absolutely no problem at all. I'm looking at a valve, but that's not a very good sign, but I think it's a tyre. I just hope I haven't damaged that. So I'll blow it up a bit and then I'll blow it down to see if it fits in. What I done was I took this side off again and then halfway around I made that the end point and it worked easier. Guys, you definitely don't want this. I've got an electric pump. Cover your ears. Doesn't seem to be getting up at all. What tells off pumped. Yeah, it's getting up now. Let the air out and hopefully I'll go into place. Or maybe not. Needs a bit of work. I've got a manual pump now. I'll just keep doing this and manipulate it, you know. Try and get the shape into it. Help me, mummy. I've taken it back out. Did I mention I don't know what I'm doing? I've lost that grommet thing as well. I'll just check it's not punctured. I got that in this time, maybe that'll help. I'm still going to take some air out of it. I just wanted to keep its shape, you know. I think I had another potential pinch flat at another spot, so just as well I took it back off. I got it, guys. Looks good. That was tougher. I think maybe because this was in position. Don't know. I was using these as well. I don't know if it's overkill or what. I thought they were useful at the end, but for some it just felt they were getting in the way, so maybe it's trial and error. Alright, here goes. I'll blow up to about 20 to make sure there's no pinch flats around. I don't trust this. It's definitely going. Actually, I see it's set to bar. I usually use PSI. I'm just checking it's not hanging out anywhere. That's the good thing about it being a bright colour, because I'll notice easier. Or for any bobbles or anything, you know. Because I have had tyres burst 24 hours later in the house. I mean, that looks a bit funny, but I think it's going to be okay. See, I'll let it air easily here if you're not careful. Accidentally, of course. Maybe it's just not a very good quality valve, you know. Anyway, my main points are, I've switched to TPU. I've done about 80 kilometres, including a lot of gravel and that. I've not had any puncture. I find it better in every way. I find it's faster, it accelerates faster, and it's lighter than rubber. You're talking maybe 80 grams each tyre. And the rolling resistance, I think, is better as well. I can't really tell, you know, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But everything about it's better, in my opinion. And I suspect that the puncture resistance is going to be better than rubber as well. So, and if you check Cycling Weekly and Road CC and that, they say the disadvantage is these tyres are dearer. But these ones were only about £5.50 each, maybe £6. I only bought one because I just wanted to check, but if I was buying again, I'd buy 4 and you get a discount, so you could probably get 4 for about £20 or something. So, and I think there are almost all the advantages of tubeless and none of the disadvantages, in my opinion. So, and they're way better than butyl, because even butyl is just a bit heavier. Well, it's a lot heavier, in fact, and the rolling resistance doesn't do well in the things, the tests that I've seen on YouTube and that. So yeah, I'm saying even the cheap ones, it's looking good after 8 kilometres. I didn't really want to make this video because quite often I've made videos, first impressions and that, and then my third impression is I don't like it anymore. So, but I'm just giving you an intermediate thing, and the message is I've done about 8 kilometres in a lot of gravel and that, and I've not had a puncture yet. So this is a 25mm tyre, my back one's a 32mm, and apart from that, I like everything about them better than rubber butyl ones. Okay guys, goodbye. 85 valve, 65 valve, width 18 to 32 it says, and it's a 622 tyre wheel. 622, I refuse to say the old 700C 28 inch.